My name's Zach Reitzel, and I'm a member of 717 Smash. 717 Smash started probably around 2013 when me and a couple friends from high school, we made a group and we just came and played video games in my basement. And from there we grew to like, there's 400 members now, and it really helps to get people together and have tournaments. And what I like about it is that you get to meet a lot of people that you otherwise would have never met and play video games with them and share a common interest. It means a lot to me to be able to see something that I created and start out really small become something really big. And now we have tournaments and a lot of players from out of the region come, and it's really an important part of my life.
So my name is Matthew Byrne. Most people just call me Matt. Most people in this community call me Boy because a little backstory. I know this might be a little rambly, but in the game Melee, there's a character called Roy, and I always thought he was really badass. And so I was like, well, what am I going to make my nickname when I'm getting into this scene, this Melee scene? And so I thought, well, Roy's the coolest character, and when you're winning in Melee, all this crowd starts chanting, "Roy's our boy, Roy's our boy." So I thought, well, I'm a boy, I'll be Boy. Like it just made perfect sense at the time, and it's worked so far for me. And obviously, what I just kind of hinted at was that we're at a Melee tournament, but it's not just that. Over there we have Smash 64. Over there we have Street Fighter, Mortal Kombat, and Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3. We have Skullgirls over there too. What started out as just being like a Smash tournament really has turned into like more of just a tournament for just video game enthusiasts, you know? So that's what we're here to do, is to play fun fighting games, fight each other, and just have a blast. When Melee came out, people discovered all these different things you could do that were way different from other fighting games and other Smash Brothers games in general. You know, like when Smash 64 came out, you could do certain things, but you were very limited in your options, and there were just so many different crazy combos and crazy combination of things that you can do in Melee that just didn't seem fathomable. And when people just started discovering it, it just grew and grew and grew until it just grew a competitive scene, just out of the fact that this game just happened to be different in a way that no one really would have predicted that this game would have been. And it hasn't been captured in any other game since. So that's why this game that's 14, 15 years old is still drawing crowds to these tournaments, because it has done something that really no other game has been able to do, is that capture people and their imagination and their creativity and their competitive spirit. When I got into Melee, it was probably around a year ago. So I haven't been in it that long, so I'm not that great, obviously. But what really drew me to Melee was the reasons I mentioned and why people play it in general, is that I saw a game where I could literally just pick up a character and in a sense express myself through a character. And that sounds weird to say, but it's kind of true. But more importantly, it has a thriving community around it, especially even in my area. Like, I'm in the 717 area. I didn't think anyone around here played, like, I mean, people play games, but I thought they played like Call of Duty, Madden, all the really popular games that weren't really my cup of tea. But randomly I discovered on the Smash Brothers Reddit that there's a local group around here, and I just started going to tournaments and started, you know, meeting the people in the scene, and it was really interesting, you know, to meet everybody. And I got a little better and I beat people, you know, and that's what drives you forward, is you start out and you're terrible and you lose to everybody and everyone beats you horribly and you don't understand what's going on and you get frustrated. And so you either quit right there, or you buck up and you say, well, I've lost a few games, I'm pretty bad right now, but these guys were also bad, you know? These guys aren't major league gamers or anything like that. These guys are guys like me who just play in their, you know, their spare time or whatever. I can get as good as them if I practice. And while I don't know if I've gotten as good as them, I think I really have improved. And that's really what's great about it, is improving as a community and learning with the community and really kind of getting better together as a community. Why I started, you know, White Rose as like a tournament, as a monthly tournament series, was that we really didn't have anything in the area, and as a region we were really like heavily looked down upon. Like, most people thought as a region 717 was the worst in the area, at least, maybe not the worst in the country, but the worst in the area. And although some of that may be true, we do have a lower skill ceiling than the other regions. I wanted to get together our players with some of the better players from regions close by. So I started this tournament series and thought to myself, if I can get 20 people to come to the first tournament, I covered how much it charged to rent the first place. If I get 40 people to come, I afford this tournament and the next tournament. And if I get more, I'm not getting more, you know? First tournament, we had 70 so people come. And that blew my mind. I didn't know what was going on. Second tournament, we had 80 people. Still blew my. I still had no idea. Third tournament, we held at 80, and by that, I just mentally checked. I had no idea what was going on. I had no idea what kind of. I knew that I loved the game, and I knew that people in the 717 loved the game, but I wasn't aware that people loved the game enough to travel from Delaware, from Maryland, from New York City, from Pittsburgh, from Philadelphia, from Northeast Pennsylvania, from basically everywhere under the sun. You know, people would come out to this tournament that we're hosting in York, PA, which is incredible to me. That's my takeaway from this, is I get to meet cool people from all over, and I get to make my mark on a scene that has already left its mark, I guess, in video game history, as a game that has lasted so long that people never thought that Melee would last close to 15 minutes or 15 years, you know? 15 years, that's insane for one game to last that long, that people are still playing it like in large numbers. It's just incredible, you know? And I'm really grateful for having the opportunity to do this, you know? I'm just happy, man. I'm really happy to see these people. They're all great guys.
I'm Jonathan, and I play Melee, Street Fighter, and Marvel. And basically, I got into fighting games because my brother played a lot of fighting games, so I got interested in it too. And then I started getting kind of good, so I just kept going to tournaments and stuff. And I like competition, so that's why I kept coming. And I'd quit Melee for like 7 years, and I came back because Ultimate Scout was still playing. He told me I should get back into it. Yeah, I mean, like, we all like the same things, you know what I mean? Like, we're just, not only are we like doing all the same thing, but we're all getting better, you know what I mean? So it's like, it's good when you like, when not only you, but the people you play with get better. And then like, when you add more people, you're just adding more like matchups and stuff, and like, even then like the jokes, the commentary, like, it can get fun and get loud. I'm very loud. Like, I'm one of the loudest people here. But I mean, like, the games just get hype all the time. Especially like when you do some like miracle comeback. Yeah.
My name is Rob Fox. I changed it to Parkour Rob Fox about 2014 because I thought Rob Fox was boring a little bit. So I changed it to Parkour Rob Fox. I started Smash in '64, and I started competitively in Brawl. I went to my first tournament in 2010 at the Harrisburg Mall, actually. I got 5th out of 13, I believe. Lost to Chivo, who was ranked 3rd in my state at the time, and Korn, who was ranked like 5th in his state at the time. But I got into Melee because of a guy named Zach, and everyone else around me played Melee, so I got into that for a little bit. I played really well, I think, but it's just not fun to me, so I kind of stay away from it. I'll play it if everyone else plays it, but I kind of just stay away. I'm kind of focused on PM more than any other Smash right now. I mean Mewtwo, and he's awesome. Bro, I've been to a lot of FGC tournaments. I've been to Marvel, I've been to Street Fighter, and I gotta say Smash is the most heartfelt. Like, everyone's just hugging each other for no reason. I can just walk up to anyone in here, give them a hug, and they cannot feel awkward about it. Whereas if I do that in a Tekken tournament, I'll probably get punched in the throat. So yeah, I love the Smash community, like, with all my heart. They're awesome to me.